I'm not here to tell you what to do, but I am here to suggest that you make these Oreo stuffed cheesecake cookies. They're filled with a creamy cheesecake filling, which is made with cream cheese, powdered sugar, and then we scoop that into little balls and put that in the freezer. To make the Oreo cookie dough, we start with butter and sugars, then cream those, then add an egg and an egg yolk, and then some vanilla extract. Then for our dry ingredients, just flour, salt, and baking soda. Mix that. Then we're adding crushed Oreos, chopped Oreo pieces, and white chocolate chips. Scoop the dough, then make a little indent for that cheesecake filling. Cover it with more cookie dough on top. Then bake those for about 10 minutes. And voila, let me know what you think.
It's your lucky day because I'm going to show you how to make the best chocolate chip cookie of your entire life. I mean, just look at this. These cookies are crispy on the edges, ooey, gooey, chewy in the middle, and just oozing with chocolate. Start with 10 tablespoons of butter. Just keep stirring on medium-low heat until the butter becomes brown. At this point, the butter will start to smell toasty and sweet. 3/4 cups of brown sugar, 1/4 cup of white sugar, a little dash of vanilla. Now you're going to stir this on low heat for 2 minutes. We're basically initiating the caramelization process for our sugars. Now we're going to let this cool down for 5 minutes. 1 egg and 1 yolk. Whisk them in for a minute. You should have a really smooth caramelly mixture. Now it's time for our dry ingredients. 1 1/3 cups of all-purpose flour, half a teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 of a teaspoon baking soda, and 3/4 teaspoons of salt. You always want to sift in your dry ingredients. And we're going to gently fold in 4 ounces of milk chocolate and 4 ounces of dark chocolate. You can also just do 8 ounces of semi-sweet. You always want to do chopped chocolate instead of chocolate chips in your cookies because chocolate chips have stabilizers in them, so they're not going to create those yummy molten pools of chocolate. I know this looks like a lot of chocolate, but let's be honest, this is the star of the show. And now we're going to fold in the chocolate. And it's time to scoop. I like to add a little extra chopped chocolate on top because it makes them look prettier. Now you want to chill these for at least 30 minutes, but ideally 2 hours. 6 cookies per tray because these are going to be big boys. Bake at 375 for about 10 to 12 minutes. Now these are going to be a little bit soft to touch when they come out of the oven, but don't overbake them. They will solidify as they cool down. Oh my gosh, tell me those don't look heavenly. Wow, it does not get much better than this. You guys absolutely need to try this recipe. It's long overdue. Let me show you guys how to make the best cinnamon rolls of your life. These cinnamon rolls are pillowy, soft, moist, and bursting with that beautiful cinnamon flavor. Is this the best thing I've ever eaten? First, we're going to take 2/3 cups of warm milk, 2 teaspoons of active dry yeast. Let it sit for 10 minutes until it starts to look foamy. 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, a teaspoon of salt, 1 egg, 1/4 cup of softened butter. Now you're going to take a large spoon and stir this into a dough. Roll up your sleeves and start working this dough. This is going to be sticky business, but don't be tempted to add too much more flour. You're just going to keep working this dough for a good 8 to 10 minutes until it becomes smooth and soft. Let's be honest, this is so freaking fun. And now we're gonna let this rise until it doubles in size. Let's go ahead and make our filling. So I've got 1/4 cup of melted butter, half a cup of brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of cinnamon, half a teaspoon of salt. And my dough has about doubled in size. And now we're gonna roll it out into a 12 by 14 inch rectangle. Spread on our cinnamon sugar mix. I know it's really popular to use floss to cut your cinnamon rolls, But with dough this soft, the easiest way to get completely clean round cinnamon rolls is to actually cut into strips first and then roll them up individually. 30 minutes later, and these cinnamon rolls are looking puffed up and super cute. Take 1/4 cup of heavy cream and drench these cinnamon rolls in that. Bake at 375 for about 22 minutes. Oh my gosh, look how beautiful these cinnamon rolls are. Make some frosting, slather it on, and dive right in.
This is a giant Reese's. Like, look at that. We have a perfect circle. This goes into the freezer for like 15 minutes to firm up. All right, here we go. Oh yeah. Oh.
Why is it slimy?
Oh my God, because the marble's so hot.
That was wild.
Obviously, we're eating it straight with our hands. Yep.
Cake pops aren't the only way to use up your cake scraps. I made this Charlotte cake thing, which is basically a cake with ladyfingers surrounding it. So I put a layer of my cake scraps and then a layer of my chocolate pastry cream, which basically has like a custardy kind of texture, some peanuts, then more cake scraps, then a salted caramel peanut praline pastry cream, and then more scraps, the chocolate one, more scraps, and then the caramel one, and then I decorated it with some tiny teddies to make it cute, obviously, and some little chocolate chips and some peanuts, and that's it. And you should definitely give it a go. Also, this is basically like Snickers inspired, if you kind of get the gist of that. But yeah, try doing this instead of cake pops.
One of my pastimes is jazzing up box brownies, and this might be my favorite way I do it. So, bake your favorite box brownies according to package directions. My favorite is Ghirardelli double chocolate. Then, a 1/2 cup of creamy peanut butter, 4 tablespoons softened butter. Nice. Mix it up. 1 cup of powdered sugar, and mix again. Put it on top of your brownies. Let's put some chocolate on top. Okay, this is gonna be so good. I mean, come on. Oh my God, you guys.
Desserts that look super complicated to make but are really easy are probably my favorite types of desserts, and this one ticks all the boxes because all I did was I made a cookie base and then I put layers and layers and layers of jelly and cream. That's it. So I'd grab the jelly box, right, and then I'd halve the quantity of the water and then I'd dissolve it in the jelly crystals, and then I'd add a little bit of cream at a time, mix it, and then I'd pour it into the layer and then put it in the freezer for about 15-20 minutes. That's all it took, and then I would just keep layering it, and it's so pretty and it looks so complicated because of all the layers, but it's so easy and it's delicious because it's jelly.
Guys, can you believe that I have a friend that isn't a big fan of dessert? I asked what he wanted for dessert for his birthday and he said cookies. Run-of-the-mill chocolate chip cookies. It just doesn't seem special enough. Let's go to the store and make it more fun. Come on. In. Oh no. Now we can make something fun. The recipe I'm making makes about 25 cookies, so I'm thinking we do 5 of each kind. Let's do it. This recipe is super simple and fun. We need 3 cups of flour. 1, 2. I'm actually just gonna put a 1/2 scoop in because there's nothing worse than dry cookies. I can always add more flour. In. A teaspoon of baking soda. In. Bit of salt. In. Give it a mix. Wait your turn. Bringing in the big dogs. 1 cup of softened butter. In. In. I like to cream my butter a little bit first so it's all the same texture and temperature. Scrape down the edges, stunning. 1 cup of white, in. And 1 cup of brown, in. Now we cream it all together for like 3 minutes, longer than you think. Okay, that's good. You want it to look like this. Completely incorporated. Stunning. Just straight sugar and butter. We need 2 eggs. In. Oh, 10 out of 10. Oh, that doesn't count. 2 teaspoons vanilla, in. Back on the mixer. Now mix these up until just combined. If you overbeat them, your cookies will be cakey. Trust me. That's it. See? Stunning. We just have to add in our dry ingredients. In. All at once. In. Same as the last step. You really don't want to overmix your flour. Mix. Just until you don't see any more dry spots. I do have half a cup of flour left to use, and I think I'll use it. It's just a little bit too sticky. In. Mix. It's perfect. Perfect. Cookie dough is always better if you put it in the fridge for a bit before you bake it. So that's what we'll do while we prep all the goodies for inside. In. Go. In. Let's prepare the inside goodies. Oreo was Quinn's request, so I got regular Oreo and golden Oreo. These are my favorite. I'll put them in these bags and mash them up. There we go. I'm gonna do a Mars bar flavor. I didn't realize they were individually wrapped. For these, I'm gonna keep some pieces bigger for the center of the cookies and then some smaller pieces like chocolate chips. Bit of a variety. I'm gonna speak too soon, but I think Mars bar is my favorite. In. We're gonna do a score one, chop them up. I do really like score too. I'll have to wait till we try them. In. Last flavor is gonna be Smartie. I used to eat a packet of Smarties before every hockey game as a kid. I convinced my dad that that's what made me play well. In. And the large chocolate milk from Tim Hortons. Super light and healthy. In. I'm gonna break some of these up too. Stunning. I'm gonna do white chocolate, but we'll just save them for another day. Quick recap, we have 2 kinds of Oreos, Smartie, Mars bar, and Score. Let's do it. Stunning. I'm gonna roll 5 of each cookie. Watch this. Bam. And I got 3 giant bonus cookies that I put a bunch of the stuff in. Yummy. Quite excited about these. Preheat your oven to 350 and line your baking sheets with parchment paper. I'm gonna do the Smarties flavor first. Yo. In. Guys, I really wanna edit this video while I bake, so I'll see you in the next one. You're welcome.